9. Gaurangera duti para adana sambara. This verse and purport, especially the purport, are very much in a description of the song we're about to sing. 1189. Majulila 1189. Raghava Pandit Iha Acharya Nandana Shriman Pandita E Shrikanta Narayan. Translation purport. Here is Raghava Pandit, here is Nandana Acharya, there is Sriman Pandit, and here are Shrikanta and Narayan. Purport. Narottam Das Thakur, honoring the personal associates of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has sung as follows from the Prarthana 13. Gaurangera Shangigane Nitya Shidha Karimane Shejaya Vrajendra Sutapash. One who is intelligent understands that all the personal associates and devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are ever liberated. This means that because they are always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, they do not belong to this material world. One who is engaged in the Lord's devotional service 24 hours daily and never forgets the Lord is called Nitya Siddha. Sri Rupa Goswami confirms this statement. Iha yasya harer dasye karmana manasagira nikila apyavastastu jivan mukta suuchite. A person acting in the service of Krishna with body, mind, intelligence, and words is a liberated person even within the material world, although he may be engaged in many so-called material activities. From the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1-187. A devotee is always thinking of how to better serve the Lord. Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A devotee is always thinking of how better to serve Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and how to broadcast his name, fame, and qualities throughout the world. One who is Nitya Siddha has no business other than broadcasting the glories of the Lord all over the world according to his ability. Such people are already associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Narottam Das Thakur says, Nitya Siddha Karimani. One should not think that because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally present 500 years ago, only his associates were liberated. Rather, Srila Narottam Das Thakur says that anyone is a Nitya Siddha if he acts on behalf of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by spreading the glories of the holy name of the Lord. We should respect those devotees preaching the glories of the Lord as Nitya Siddha and should not consider them conditioned. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samyati taitan brahmabhuyaya kalpate. One who has transcended the material modes of nature is said to be on the Brahman platform. That is also the platform of Nitya Siddha. The Nitya Siddha not only stays on the Brahman platform, but also works on that platform. Simply by accepting the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Nitya Siddha, one can very easily go back to Godhead. Gaurangera Dutipada Arana Sampada. Gaurangera Dutipada Jardana Sampada. Gaurangera Dutipada Jadhana Sampada Kartal Sejane Bhakati Rasasa Sejane Bhakati Rasasa Sejane Bhakati Rasasa Gaurangera Madhulila Jar Karne Praveshila Gaurangera Madhulila Jar Karne Praveshila Hridaya Nirmala Bhilota Hridaya Nirmala Bhilota Jai Gauranger Namaloy Tahoy Premadoy Jai Gauranger Namaloy Tahoy Premadoy Tare Mui Jai Bolihari Tare Mui Jai Bolihari Gauranga Gunete Jure Nitya Lila Taresh Pure Gauranga Gunete Jure Nitya Lila Taresh Pure Sejana Bhakati Adhikari Sejana Bhakati Adhikari Sejane Bhakati Gaurangera Shangigane Nitya Siddhakari Mane Gaurangera Shangigane Nitya Siddhakari Mane Sejaya Brajendra Shutapal Sejaya Brajendra Shutapal Shri Goda Mandala Bhumi Jeba Jane Chintamani Shri Goda Mandala Bhumi Jeba Jane Chintamani Tara hoy Vraja Bhumi Bha Tara hoya Braja Bhumi Bha Gaura Prima Rasanarnave Shetarange Jeba Dhube Gaura Prima Rasanarnave Shetarange Jeba Dhube Shri Radha Madhava Antaranga Shri Radha Madhava Antaranga Grihe Baba Nete Take Agoranga Bole Take Grihe Baba Nete Take Agoranga Bole Take Karto Narottama Maget Sarasanga Narottama Maget Sarasanga Grihe Baba Nite Take Hago Ranga Bole Dake Grihe Baba Nite Take Hago Ranga Bole Dake Grihe Baba Nite Take Hago Ranga Bole Dake Grihe Baba Nite Take Hagoranga Bole Dake Jaya Gora Nitai Gora Nitai Gora Nitai Jaya Gora Nitai Nitai Gaur Haribo 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 Tai Gaur Haribo Tai Gaur Premanande. Today we have a special presentation all about the holy name. This is a subject matter that's been gone into very deeply by some of the Vaishnavas here in ISKCON of Silicon Valley, and they've prepared a special program today, which, who is your MC? Okay.
Hare Krishna. We're just going to get the slides ready and I'll be back. Oh, okay. So this seminar that we're about to do will take roughly 2 hours, and it's all about what we've learned from this year from Yasheshwari Mataji in our Sunday school classes. And it's about the holy name, so we will explain all that we've learned from this year about the holy name. And we have a slide presentation that we're going to have running while we're presenting.
The slide with you? Balram is sharing it. I don't know, this is not the one. Okay. What is the slide?
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear esteemed devotees. I welcome you all to our Kaishora presentation from the Kaishora class of 2017-18. Today we will present the nectarian ocean of the holy name. We studied this subject for the past year under the guidance of the expert teacher Vaisesika Mataji. This Holy Name seminar is dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We are very grateful that he brought the Mahamantra to the West and then spread it all over the world. This book, titled The Nectarian Ocean of the Holy Name, was written by Sachinandana Swami. Throughout the span of this presentation, we will explain how this book has helped us in our Krishna consciousness and our experience with the holy name. In this presentation, we will cover topics such as the Nama Tattva, where we will explain the meaning of the holy name, the Nama Kirtana, where we will explain the different types of chanting, Nama Parad, where we will go over the different ways you can make offenses while chanting, Nama Bhas, the clearing stage of chanting, followed by Shuddhanam, the pure stage of chanting, and then finally a conclusion. And next we have Sweka giving us an introduction to the holy name.
Hare Krishna. So like Anshu mentioned, this semester we studied the light of the Bhagavad. And it is actually an adaptation from the Sri Harinam Chintamani, which is a Bengali text written by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and it's a conversation between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur. So a little bit on Haridas Thakur. He was born into a Muslim family, but as he grew up, he developed a great love for chanting the holy name, and he soon became the crown jewel of the Hindu society. At the age of 18, he renounced the world and went to the forest and decided to focus on chanting the Mahamantra. And soon his piousness and quality of chanting became well known, and people came from all over to see him. And they'd bring him fruits as gifts, and he'd take the fruits and he'd throw them back into the crowd, encouraging everyone to chant Hare Krishna. And along with his fame, of course, came jealousy. And so there were many instances when people tried to bring him down and ruin his reputation. And one of the most famous ones are him and the prostitute, where some of the people who were jealous of him sent a prostitute, and they tried to tell her to distract him from his chanting. And Haridas Thakur kept telling her to wait. He'd say, "Oh, just wait, and let me finish my chanting, and then I'll help you." And so he said it day 1, then he said it day 2, and then day 3, she actually started chanting with him. And so instead of ruining his reputation, he actually turned the prostitute into a devotee too, which only brought up his fame. Throughout his relationship in life, he was also great friends with Advaita Acharya, and one of the closest associates to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And actually, when he died, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was present, and he started a kirtan, and he passed away like he's looking straight into Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eyes and holding his feet, and chanting the Mahamantra, he just passed away and went back home. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loved him so much and was in such ecstasy that he personally actually carried the body of Haridas Thakur and washed it in the river. And then there was a hole that was dug, and he put the body in the hole and he covered it up himself. And so that was how great Haridas Thakur was, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loved him so much. So to conclude, Haridas Thakur was just a great devotee, and he really exemplified how great the holy name is. And I thought an appropriate way to start the seminar would be to state a quote that embodies Haridas Thakur's values and the ability of the holy name. And so the holy name of Krishna is so attractive that anyone who chants it, including all living entities, moving and unmoving, and even Lord Krishna himself, becomes imbued with love of Krishna. And that is the effect of chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Next, Balaram will talk about Namatattva.
Hare Krishna. So the next part is Namatattva, which is the truth about the holy name, or the definitions. So we should know what the holy name is before understanding how to chant it. So the power of the holy name, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says that there's no vow equal to it, there's no knowledge superior to it, there's no meditation which comes near it. It gives the highest result, and no penance equal to it. So this is the power of the holy name, and that's what distinguishes between all the other mantras. And that's why it's called the Maha Mantra, because Maha means like the greatest or the biggest. And that's the power of the holy name, and that's why it's very important. Oh, and nothing is potent to it. And Srila Prabhupada says that the holy name revives our transcendental consciousness, and that we're actually original Krishna conscious living entities. So we have this Krishna consciousness or love for Krishna inside us that is dormant. And the holy name awakens that, and we're instead of discovering something new, we're actually just purifying ourselves and awakening our actual real consciousness. The glories of the holy name are that it is very blissful. One attains love of Godhead. It brings the attention of Krishna, and it displays force even if chanted unintentionally. And one of the greatest parts is that it brings the attention of Krishna, and it says that that Krishna actually dances on our tongue, on the tip of our tongue. And the fact that it has effects even if it's chanted unintentionally, which is also amazing. And like an example of this is also like Ajamil. When he was leaving his body, he chanted the name of Narayana, calling his son, but still the Vishnu Dutas came. And another story is also when Lord Chaitanya was born, and the Muslims were mocking the Hindus during the lunar eclipse while they were chanting Hari, Hari. So that's also another way of chanting unintentionally but still having effects. So the meaning of the holy name. Hare addresses the energy of the Lord, like Radharani is one certain energy. Krishna means all attractive, or the supreme enjoyer. And Rama means spiritual enjoyment. So when we combine all three of these, we are combining all whatever Krishna has offered to us, or whatever we have, this entire nature, back to Krishna in our own way. And that's the point of chanting the Maha Mantra. We're engaging ourselves in service of Krishna. We're giving whatever He's given to us and giving it back to Him. For example, like we have the Ganges, and whenever we go there, we always see people who take the water and then put it back in. They're offering the same thing back. But the thing is that we're offering with devotion, and that's the point. We have to have devotion when we chant the holy name, and that's the only thing that we actually have to offer to the Lord. And how is this different from lust? So when Ravana actually kidnapped Sita, this is a story. So when Ravana kidnapped Sita, he was taking Krishna's energy away from him. But then Hanuman came and he got Sita back, the energy of Krishna. And that's what we have to do. We have to be like a Hanuman who gets the energy of Krishna back to Krishna. And that's the point of the holy name. And also, a holy name it's like structured in a certain way. It's like the rasa dance with Krishna and his energy constantly overlapping, like we can see in this picture. And also, in the rasa dance, Krishna, they had one certain, so it's also like how our beads work, the rounds we have, the beads. We have Krishna in the middle, and then we have all the different gopis on the side. And this is actually our Yuga Dharma. So in the Satya Yuga, our Yuga Dharma was to meditate upon the Lord. In Treta Yuga, we were supposed to perform sacrifices. In Dwapar Yuga, we were supposed to do deity worship. And in Kali Yuga, we're supposed to chant the holy name. So this is our duty of this age. And the effects of these different yugas were that in Satya Yuga, we could only gain Shantaras. In Treta Yuga, we could only gain Shanta and Dasya. In Dwapar Yuga, we could also gain Sakhya and Vatsalya. And then in Kali Yuga, we could gain Madhurya Ras as well with the holy name. And this is also another example of the power of the holy name. In the first verse, the Shikshashtakam, Chetodarpana Marjanam, it talks actually about the 7 effects of the holy name in the verse. So the first one is the heart is purified, which is Chetodarpana Marjanam. The second is it destroys all suffering, Bhava Maha Dhavagni Nirvapanam. And the third is that it brings all auspiciousness, Shaya Kaidava Chandrika Vitaranam. And then spiritual life develops, Vidya Vadhu Jivanam. Then it conveys sublime nectar, Anandam Buddhivardhanam. And then the last one is that lust turns into love, Sarvatma Snapanam. And then we have Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. And now Namakirtana will be presented by Anshu and Advait.
So now Anshu and I will be talking about Namakirtana, and in this section we'll be talking about 5 topics, which include the 3 main potencies of Krishna and the path to the spiritual world, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's principal and secondary names, and 3 stages of chanting.
So first, the 3 ways of chanting. The first way of chanting is called manasa. This is when one is chanting in one's mind. The second way of chanting is upamsa, where one is chanting very softly so that only one can hear himself. A recommended example of this way of chanting is japa, and Prabhupada recommended this example because it is very easy to concentrate on the holy name. The third way of chanting is vachika, and this is when one is chanting very loudly so that everyone can hear.
There are 3 main potencies of Krishna, and to value the holy name, we must realize that Krishna and his name are identical.
So the first potency of Krishna is Chit Vaibhava, and this is Krishna's spiritual potency. This potency includes Krishna's abode, holy names, and his transcendental forms. And those that are experiencing this potency are bestowed with ecstatic bliss from Krishna. And this potency has 3 sub-potencies. The first one is Sandhini, which develops a variety of spiritual existence. The second one is Samvit, which shows our relation with Krishna. And the third one is Hiladini, which displays a joy of spiritual relations and emotions.
And then there's Chit Vaibhava, and these are the non-spiritual manifestations of Krishna, and people experiencing this are under the influence of the illusory energy of Krishna, and Maya makes them perform sinful activities, and also Maya punishes those who don't serve Krishna and helps those who do serve Krishna.
And the third potency of Krishna is Jiva Vaibhava. Those that are experiencing this potency are spiritual by quality, and because they are spiritual by quality, they receive unlimited bliss on a spiritual level. And only those that are surrendered to Krishna go to the spiritual world. Those that are not surrendered to Krishna obtain a material body in the material world.
So the path to the spiritual world, how can fallen living beings attain liberation? Well, Krishna is merciful enough to show fallen living beings, even if they have committed so many sins and offenses in the past, the way of liberation.
So the path to liberation is revealed in the Vedas by Krishna. The first step is that one must redirect all his activities for Krishna, and this is karma kanda. The second step is all of one's intellectual activities, such as thinking, must be for Krishna, and this is jnana kanda. And the third step ultimately leads to the worship of Sri Krishna, which is upasana kanda.
So Krishna has 64 unlimited qualities which are enumerated by Srila Rupa Goswami, and knowing these qualities will help us develop Krishna prema, so we'll have a better understanding of the Lord.
So Krishna's description. Krishna and his form are actually identical, and when one chants his name, the form appears in the mind. And the holy name is the original aspect of Krishna because of Krishna's 4 characteristic aspects, which are his name, form, qualities, and pastimes. The holy name is the original one because by chanting his holy name, the perception of the others actually appear in the mind. So without the holy name, there would be no perception of the other forms of Krishna. And the jiva and the holy name are actually the only spiritual items in the material world.
So Krishna has principal and secondary names, and we must know about who we're praying to develop good chanting.
So Krishna's principal names, such as Krishna, Govinda, and Gopal, they refer to Krishna in his eternal leelas with his devotees. But on the other hand, his secondary names are more of general titles, such as Paramatma, Vishnu, and Ishvar. They don't refer to him in his eternal leelas, they just characterize his relationship with the material world.
And there are 3 stages of chanting, and this is the process for where a devotee starting with the lowest stage is rising till the highest stage.
The first stage of chanting is Namaparad. On this stage, one is generally chanting with offenses, and it is impossible to attain Krishna Prema on this stage. In order to make it to the next stage, one's goal should be to stop making offenses as quickly as possible.
And then there's Namabhash, and this is when one is trying to avoid sins and offenses so the mind can focus on the holy name with full attention. And by serving the spiritual master with full attention while chanting Namabhash, one gradually rises to the platform of Shuddha Nam and thus attains the final goal, which is pure love of God.
So the third stage, which is Shuddha Nam, is the final and ultimate stage. This will be further elaborated later on in the seminar. But one that is chanting in this stage receives pure Krishna Prema, and also Krishna fully reveals himself. And because Krishna fully reveals himself on this stage, the devotee actually receives a portion of his qualities, and he experiences Krishna personally appearing on his tongue. And next we have Manisha, Avantika, and Advaita presenting Namaparad, which will go further into the different offenses you can make while chanting.
Hare Krishna. So I will be speaking on Vrinda, and I just want to ask, please forgive me if I speak on anything wrong today or mistake by saying anything. So the first, So we will start off by discussing the first offense, which is to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. So we'll start off by discussing the importance of devotee association. Why is it important to associate with devotees? The first reason is because they remind us, they engage us, and they correct us in our devotional practices. And bhakti slowly starts appearing in our heart, and Krishna dances on our tongue when we are speaking the holy name. And we see that when we're associating with pure devotees or devotees, we see that they're following the 9 processes of devotional service, which is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedyam. And as a human tendency, it's very normal for all of us to be influenced by people who we are surrounded by. So if I'm with a group of people who are really into following the 9 processes of devotional service, I start feeling that I should also start chanting. I should also be sitting in lecture just because all my other friends are sitting in lecture. So slowly that quality starts coming in me too. So the next thing is, what is the cause of Vaishnava aparada? So there's 3 reasons. The first reason is because of association. The second reason is because we start judging devotees. And the third reason is because we may start feeling jealous. So I'm going to discuss more on the first reason, which is judging devotees. And why do we judge devotees? There's always 2 sides to judging. There's one side where we see that we're judging devotees because we always notice that, they're always sweeping the temple at every time at the end of Temple of Sunday feast, and even if it's such a long feast, they're always there ready to sweep the temple. And that's a good way of judging devotees. And the other side, on the other hand, is judging devotees by their material standards. We start seeing that, this devotee doesn't have a Tesla, or this devotee doesn't own a house. So we start judging them on their material platform. Then we start judging them because of their personality, or it might even be their personal features. And the important thing is, I know specifically for me that if I get annoyed by somebody, then it's always better to keep a distance, because when we start associating with the person who's annoying us, or it makes me talk more negative about them. It makes me have the urge to say something bad about the person who's annoying me, or I really dislike them. And the second reason was to feel jealous. So why do we feel jealous? Sometimes it may be that we start off on the same spiritual platform, we start off at the same place, and we say me and the other person, we both start off at the same place and we're slowly developing, but that person gets initiated first or that person gets a second initiation, then I feel that they're progressing more spiritually than me. So that can first of all cause jealousy. It can also be sometimes that my spiritual master is giving more attention to that person than me. And jealousy can quickly turn into envy. So it also develops habits in us which we do not want. And this is compared to the mad elephant offense. We're putting so much hard effort and dedication into all our years of spiritual practice, where we're trying to build a garden like a garden of devotion. But when the moment that our mouth opens to talk about something negative about somebody else, the big, huge elephant comes into the garden and tramples on all the years of our devotional practices. And so it can be crushed very quickly. So Srila Prabhupada gives the example that it's like trying to build a fire while throwing water on it. When we're chanting on our beads and we're doing our spiritual practice, at the same time, when we open our mouth to blaspheme or say something negative about another devotee, we're trying to build a fire and suddenly there's water thrown on it. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, it says, Vaishnavas are all great souls. Whoever blasphemes them falls down to hell. And the highlighted key there is whoever blasphemes them falls down to hell. So what does the word blaspheme mean? Blaspheme is a verb, and it means to speak irreverently about God or sacred things. And devotees are very, very dear to the Lord. So if we want to please Krishna, we want to please the Lord, then we have to please the devotees first by engaging in their service. And how do we rectify the first offense? The first offense, we have to sincerely try to avoid it in the very near future. We go to that devotee and, explain to them, I said this about you, or it was through a misunderstanding. And I'm sure everyone in this room has maybe said something about somebody else or another. And saying something about somebody else also means the little devotees in our temple who we barely know, or no one's heard of their names. So it even means them. And something that we have to remember is a person who chants the holy name of the Lord has to be mentally honored. And we ask forgiveness, we take shelter of the Lord, and by offering sincere obeisances to someone, that obliges the heart of that person. That's what Srila Prabhupada said. So now we will be moving on to the second offense, which is to consider the names of the demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal and independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. So we have a tree here, and Vishnu or Krishna is the root of the tree, and the branches and the leaves are demigods. And so if we want to, we've often heard the phrase that we have to water the root. So that means that when we try to please Lord Krishna, then that means all the other demigods are pleased too, because they are the servants of the Lord. And so who's Vishnu? Vishnu has 64 transcendental qualities. His name, form, and qualities aren't separate from him. And how should a devotee see the demigods? The devotee should see the demigods as a personal as servants of the Lord. They're very happy being servants, and they're always ready to serve the Lord. And how do we rectify the second offense? We take shelter of the Lord, and we sincerely repent, and we avoid, and we never try to do it again. So now we'll be moving on to the third offense, which is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. So what are the characteristics of a bona fide spiritual master? A spiritual master is in control of the senses. He's a Goswami. That means he's the master of the senses. He understands and knows about Krishna. He or she makes full efforts to deliver others and fallen souls, firmly fixed in spiritual life and practices. And moreover all, a guru is always, or spiritual master is always equal to all. And whether it be a Brahmana, Shudra, a person who owns a Tesla, or a person who doesn't own a Tesla. So how should one respect their spiritual master? One should think of him/her as an intimate servant of the Lord. Never regard the guru to be an ordinary person. Worship as a dear servant of the Lord, and accept the guru as Lord and Master. So in support to all of these statements, in Guru Ashtakam, in the 7th text, it is stated, the spiritual master is to be honored as much as the Supreme Lord, because he's the most confidential servitor of the Lord. This is acknowledged in all revealed scriptures and followed by all authorities. So if you all know the verse, you can sing with me. It's going to be very quick. So, Sakshadaritvena samasta shastre yuktastatha bhavyata eva sadvi kintu prabhuya priya eva tasya vande guru shri charanarvindam. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Sri Hare Krishna. So, how do we rectify the third offense? We rectify this because, as we discussed in earlier topics, association. When we associate with people who think that they're independent, they can go on their own, that mindset also starts coming in us. We start developing the mindset that we can be independent. I don't need guidance, so why should I have a spiritual master, or why should I need anybody to guide me? So first of all, we try to give up that unfavorable company or association. And next, we approach the spiritual master and we beg for forgiveness. And again, we take shelter of Srila Prabhupada and the deities, and we never try to commit the mistake again. So the fourth offense is to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance of Vedic version. So the four defects in human acquisition of knowledge is 1, to commit mistakes, 2, to become illusioned, 3, that we have imperfect senses, and we have the propensity to cheat others. So we can see that even the demigods have sometimes done this. So, for example, to commit mistakes, Brahma also committed a mistake when he thought that Krishna was a normal gopa, and he kidnapped them. So we can see that even the demigods have sometimes committed these 4 mistakes or illusions. So why is it an offense to blaspheme the Vedas? It's an offense to blaspheme the Vedas because when we blaspheme the Vedas, we're blaspheming the holy name. And the holy name is non-different from Krishna. As we discussed in a couple slides earlier, the name, form, and qualities of Krishna aren't separate from him, and they're non-different. So that means the Vedas are non-different from Krishna. Just like the Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself, that's what, when we're preaching door to door and we're trying to distribute the Bhagavatam, we say that the Bhagavatam is a form of Krishna and Krishna is coming to you. Just like that, when we blaspheme them, we're criticizing Krishna. So how do we rectify the fourth offense? We should take shelter of the Srimad Bhagavatam because the Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedas. We should never try to commit the mistake again, and we should sincerely repent, and ask for forgiveness. And so now the fifth offense will be discussed by Avantika and Advaita. So, yes.
Hare Krishna. So the fifth offense is to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Okay, raise your hand if you chant. Raise your hand if you still commit offenses. So as you can see, the goal of chanting is not ultimately to get rid of your offenses, but it is to satisfy Krishna and selflessly. So one's chanting progress depends on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and one's own effort to avoid their offenses. In order to rectify this offense, you have to hear in the assembly of devotees. So the sixth offense is to give some interpretation on the holy name. So the meaning and effect of the holy name should never be interpreted. So there are lots of examples given by Srila Prabhupada. One of them was, there was once this person in Germany who thought chanting was hypnotism, but Srila Prabhupada said, no, it's purification. And then there's another one where a misconception where a person said, Krishna means black and black people cannot be understood. So that's another great offense. In order to rectify this offense, you should admit in the midst of devotees and hear about the actual nature of the holy name. And the seventh offense is to commit a sin on the name of the Lord. So there are three stages of sin: ignorance, the desire to commit a sin, and the sinful act in itself. So if you want to stop sinning, you have to get rid of the first stage, which is ignorance. And in order to get rid of ignorance, you have to get spiritual knowledge. So there are two types of sins. One is intentional and one is unintentional. So an accidental sin is temporary and you will be forgiven. But if you do a sin on purpose, no one will consider you a serious devotee and you will ultimately just fall down. And similar to the other offenses, if you want to rectify it, you have to go in the assembly of Vaishnavas and say, Jai Srila Prabhupada. So now Advaita will be doing offenses 8 to 10.
This one's the next one. Oh, the bottom is next.
Well, the eighth offense of the holy name is to consider chanting to be a ritualistic activity. No activity can be compared with the chanting of the holy name, and especially in this Kali Yuga, chanting should always be the number one priority. Chanting should never be given up. Other pious activities such as yoga, holy baths, and austerity are considered to be mere pious activities compared to the chanting of the holy name, especially during this Kali Yuga, where chanting of the holy name is especially recommended. Krishna's divine form is fully spiritual, and therefore his name is the exact same as his spiritual form. To rectify the eighth offense, it is advised to go to the Vaishnavas and obtain Sambandha Jnana to remove one's ignorance, to avoid this offense in the future. Sambandha Jnana means to know the knowledge of the relationship of a jiva with the Supreme Lord. The ninth offense is to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Someone who chants the holy name must have faith, and Vaishnavas will not give the holy name to someone lacking faith. But at the same time, preachers do not commit this offense, as it is for initiation, to initiate other people into this devotional service, not to commit this offense intentionally. A faithless person who thinks that after accepting the holy name they can commit whatever offense they want and it can just be rectified by chanting the holy name. And people who think they're at such a high level after accepting the holy name, these people are unfit for spiritual life. Chanting before initiation leads to the initiation of a devotee, and that starts the spiritual life. And during initiation, karma and other sins leave the sincere disciple, so they can start their chanting in the initiated life. The 10th offense is to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. People who commit this offense think, I'm a doctor, rich man, I own this car, this expensive vase, things like that. I'm independent for God. They like to think I'm all-knowing. I can solve any problem I want. And there's this very nice quote from Lord Rishabhadev, Janasya moham yaham aham mameti, and it means the illusion of the materially attached is the wrong conception of aham, I, and mama, mine. This means that people materially attached think that this is mine, I own this, that person is mine. All of these things, these are materially attached people. This is the illusion they go through. To avoid this offense, one must understand that they have to give up all material attachments and burdens on the useless body. They have to say no to these things. And so there's now going to be a skit presentation by Aprame, Balram, Advait, and Anchu. Yeah.
Can you send that one to here? We can actually put it
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare.
We can take two of those. We need one more.
I'm not working. Let's do it one.
As soon as someone puts headphones on.
Yeah, we all.
They already introduced chanting stereotypes.
Okay. Oh, you just do it.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Now we're gonna have a short skit on chanting stereotypes.
Move down. Upper May. Switch the seat. Wait for me!
What are you guys doing?
Okay.
Hare Krishna. I also finished one round of the Maha Mantra. Vancha, Vancha. We'll meet again.
It's so funny.
He forgets his rounds. He forgets his rounds and goes to sleep. The next morning,
Oh my God! I only chanted one round. Let me chant the rest later. I'll do two right now, and I'll chant the rest maybe tomorrow. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. I think that's good for today. Let me take some more rest.
after his hibernation,
Oh my God, it's already spring, and I still haven't chanted more than 3 rounds. I must have over 1,000 rounds left. I don't think it's worth trying anymore. Bhavagrai Janardana.
Are you even chanting?
Smarnam is the key. Kirtanam comes afterwards.
Dude, Kirtanam comes first.
Just let me focus, okay?
It's right there.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram.
Shari Ram.
Prasadam!
Wow, one devotee found such great taste in the Mahamantra. Such a great devotee. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram.
Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Ram
Could I
Ram,
have your
Hare.
jacket as well?
Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare.
Give me money.
Hare Krishna, Hare.
I said give me money.
1 second, Prabhu. I'll go and get money and come.
Oh, okay. Wow, one person found such great in the taste in the Mahamantra. The other one is donated by heart. Krishna, please give me the association of these kind of devotees.
What's up with you guys? Go. No, I need the phone. No, it's fine. Take it. I can take care of it. Here. Music. I got it.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram.
Prabhuji.
Prabhu! Vancha, Prabhu.
Vancha.
I love Krishna.
Me too.
I gave it to you. Do you leave it there? You do the music first.
What happened here?
Dude, what are you doing? You just killed a devotee.
See, that's why you chant while you drive. It's called protection. Oh, look at these people. They don't even listen to you. Look what happens. Once upon a time, in the late 2010s, there was a great devotee by the name of Optimization Das. He would read books of Srila Prabhupada, do seva in the temple, and even donate some money he earned at the temple. But people were in awe of his service. And one day, he meets a friend.
Prabhu, I've seen you do such great service at temple. You donate money, you do service at temple, you clean the floor, you clean the temple, you work in the kitchen. But I've never seen you actually chant. If you perform so well in temple, then your chanting must be truly very great. Please enlighten me.
Yes, my friend. Sit down, Vanja, Vanja. So, my chanting is a story in itself. It is so complex. So, here's what I do. I wake up really early in the morning, 10:30 a.m.
Wow.
And then I go to the bathroom and start the chanting of the holy name. And then, on my way to work, I chant whatever rounds I have left in traffic jams.
What is this chanting I've been doing the whole time? This is the real process of Krishna consciousness. If this devotee has been able to perform so well at temple while doing such great chanting, then this must be the proper way to do it.
One day, there was a businessman by the name Lakshmi Raj Patel, and he was completing his chanting marathon at the temple.
Krishna, I have completed my goal of chanting 192 rounds today. Please make me get a raise tomorrow. I really need to get a raise. Thank you. This is a fair transaction.
Lakshmi Raj Patel goes to work the next day just to realize he was fired. He rushed to the temple immediately.
Krishna, what have you done? I chanted 192 rounds of your name yesterday. Business should not be done like this. I had a fair transaction. What a peasant.
It's been a long day at work, and it's already midnight. I don't know how I'm going to chant. I'll leave it up to Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. God, it's already 2, and it's almost Mangal Arti, and I still have 5 rounds left. I must finish my rounds before Mangal Arti. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. My rounds must be done by now. It's Mangalarti.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Brahma Hare Shiva Shiva Agni Hare 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 Yama Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare. Hey guys, remember that one Prabhu that's always snoring and eating so much while he's chanting? Eats so much, he eats half the words while he's chanting.
I know. So true. And remember that one Prabhuji is always working on his laptop? It's as if his work is at temple itself.
And remember that one Mataji who was sitting in the corner doing who knows what on her phone?
Right, and then there's always those group of like devotees in the middle of the temple, always talking about high action sports like, I don't know, rugby, ping pong, chess. So high action. Karmakand.
Hey guys, let's try to do something different this time.
Yeah, let's do some intense japa. Come on.
It's 9 o'clock.
Hare Krishna, hopefully that didn't offend any of you, and hopefully none of you are one of those chanting stereotypes we just did. Okay, next we have the Nama Bhash by Prantapa, Aparme, and Balaram. They'll go deeper into the clearing stage of chanting.
Namabasa by Parantapa, Aparme, and Balaram. Description. It's a semi-disordered form of Sudhanama. Chanting occurs without full knowledge of the potency of the holy name. We will cover anarthas, overcoming anarthas, the journey, 7 effects of Nambasa, divisions of Nambasa, and disordered and real Nambasas. Anarthas, in-depth information on anarthas are material attachments. Attachment to material objects, cheating and fault-finding and propensities, envy and desire for recognition. Offense against the holy name, the devotees of the Lord, the form of the Lord, and
the holy name and other living entities, like you're saying something else that's like, think about it, if you're chanting but you're thinking about something else, so your mind has to be on Krishna while you're chanting. And desires for sense objects, sense enjoyment, mystic powers merging into the supreme. This talks about Hiranyakasipu, for example, who, like, if you know the story of him, like he wanted to get his power from Brahma, because when Vishnu killed his brother, he said, like, I don't want anyone to kill me. So this is kind of asatrishna, another part of anartha. Ignorance about one's identity, the position of the Lord, the process of sadhana bhakti and prema bhakti, factors unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. So, factors unfavorable to Krishna consciousness is like this example of not following the 4 pillars of religion, and you're forgetting yourself that you're a soul. Like that's once you're forgetting one's identity. Overcoming anarthas with transcendental knowledge.
Hare Krishna, now that we know what anarthas are, we're going to learn how to overcome them. So there are 3 types of transcendental knowledge. The first is Sambandha Gyan, which is understanding our position, the position of Krishna and our relationship with Krishna. And this is important to establish first because this is our foundation of our devotional service. And after we have this knowledge, then we go into Abhidaya, which is practice. And only by practice we can attain prayojana, which is pure love of God. And that is our ultimate goal. Rupa Goswami talks about the journey, a journey through the creeper of devotional service, the Bhakti Lata, and then and we're also going to talk about devotional service or sadhana bhakti. So in the Madhya Leela it says the 9 steps in the creeper of devotion are faith, association of devotees, acceptance, and acceptance of a bona fide guru. And these first 3 actually exemplify Sambandha Gyan. That's where we establish our foundation. And we need these 3 steps in this creeper. Firstly, and then practice comes from, then we free our anarthas, we become steady, we develop taste, and we develop attachment. And this is our practice. And soon we can go to the stage of prayojana, which is bhava and prema, awakening of love and pure love of God. And for sadhana bhakti, there are 9 types of devotional service that we can actually follow in order to get to this stage, in order to follow the creeper. And the first is Shravanam, which is hearing, and a perfect example is Maharaj Parikshit. The second one is Kirtanam, and the perfect example, or chanting, and the perfect example is Shukadev Goswami. The third one is Smaranam, remembering the Lord, and Prahlad Maharaj is a great example. Pada Sevanam, which is serving the Lord's lotus feet. Srimati Lakshmi is also a great example for this one. And then Archanam, worshipping the deity. Prithu Maharaj is a great example. Vandanam, offering prayers. Akrura is a great example, which is prayers to the Lord. And Dasyam, servitorship to the Lord. Hanuman is a great example. Sakhyam, friendship with the Lord. Arjuna was a great example, who heard the Bhagavad Gita. And Atma Nivedanam, which is the last one, of complete surrender. And Bali Maharaj is a wonderful example, and he perfected this stage. However, Maharaj Ambarish actually perfected all nine processes, and therefore he's a perfect example for all of them. And now Aparme will talk about the effects of Namabhas and the divisions of Namabhas.
Hare Krishna. So in this 4th part of Namabhas, there are 7 main parts. So the first effect is faith. So with the constant chanting, even in the stage of Namabhas, one develops strong faith, and that is the bridge to spiritual advancement. As it's synonymous with any other religious organizations, you need faith to even enter into spirituality. So here also it is very important, and it's the bridge to spiritual advancement. The second effect is extinction of sinful reactions. So by the constant chanting, basically Mahamantra rids us from all our karma and eventually liberates us from this material world. The third one is liberation from the effects of Kali Yuga. So we're not affected by the influence of the material world, like the laziness, misguidedness that we have. And in this verse over here in Srimad Bhagavatam, it says, "O learned one, in this iron age of Kali Yuga, men have but short lives. They're quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed." So the fourth effect is that our fears vanished and we're advented with peace. And so basically, we have more faith in Krishna consciousness, and eventually we don't worry about the anxieties that we face in the material world, because in the material world we're affected by many problems that are adi-devic, adhyatmic, adi-bhautik. And so fifth one is actually protection from adi-bhautika, which is it is problems that we face from adverse planets, and that's like ghosts, etc. The sixth one is Purushartha, which is basically we gain the 4 goals of material life and spiritual life. So it provides all spiritual and material happiness, and that's what the living entity is looking for. And that includes dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So the 7th one is spiritual bliss. So eventually, with the constant chanting, we're guaranteed a residence in Vaikuntha, and that's quite surprising because this chanting is actually not the most perfect chanting, and so this is one important thing to note. Same thing here, Namabhas is more important than visiting the holy places or reading Vedic literature. So this also shows that the importance of Namabhas is enough that it's more important than visiting holy places or reading Vedic literature. And this is also, again, quite surprising because it's not the perfect stage of chanting. So the 5th part of Namabhas is divisions of Namabhas. So one thing to note here is Purna Shuddha Nitya Mukta, and that will be talked about a little bit in the coming slides. So there's first thing is unintentional chanting, and some of these 4 were described in our skit. So it's Sanketya, chanting without deliberation; Parihasya, chanting jokingly; Stoba, chanting like singing music; and Helena, chanting while multitasking. So these are things that, although in the Namabhas stage, they're the lower part of Namabhas, and we have to gradually advance through this. And eventually, as we advance through this, we go to the stage of Shraddha Namabhas, which is faithful chanting. And this is a desired stage of at least Namabhas that we have to reach, which will eventually guarantee us residence in Vaikuntha and other and material and spiritual happiness. And so from this, as our anarthas go down, we can see that we're advancing, and this leads to Shuddha Bhakti or Shuddha Nam. The 6th one is distorted and real Namabhas. So distorted Namabhas is Pratibhimbabhas, and this is the sort of chanting that is for material desires and power. So we're still chanting with material desires, and we want to gain something from chanting materially, whereas Chaya Abhas, which is the real Abhas, is the chanting with full faith in the Lord, and here we're trying to advance spiritually. So the next part is Shuddha Nam, which will be taught by Shivatsa and Abhijit.
This one is the next slide.
This one is the middle.
Hare Krishna. I will be doing Shuddhanam on behalf of Abhijit as well, because unfortunately he wasn't able to make it today. Shuddhanam, the Shuddhanam stage of chanting is the pure stage of chanting, and it's the stage of chanting that we all strive to reach. Shuddha means perfect, so in this stage of chanting we have the highest level of taste for chanting, which means that we wouldn't be able to stop chanting. Sometimes it's hard to develop taste. Sometimes when we're chanting our rounds, we're thinking, oh, I'd rather be doing something else. Chanting is very difficult because it's hard to focus our mind because our mind is very, very restless. So the reason for this is because of 2 reasons, ignorance and anarthas. And ignorance is divided into 4 types of ignorance. The first type is the ignorance of the nature of the holy name. Ignorance of the nature of the holy name makes it difficult to chant because if we're ignorant of how powerful the holy name is, and if we're ignorant of the fact that the holy name is Krishna, we won't be able to understand that by chanting we have to focus and devote our full attention. Because if we understand that the holy name is Krishna, we know that, okay, we're not dealing with an ordinary person, we're dealing with the Supreme Lord. So if we don't give our full attention, we're showing a small sign of disrespect. Ignorance of Krishna's position, as I was saying, the holy name is Krishna. And if we don't know who Krishna is, like if we don't know Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we won't understand the power of the holy name, because the holy name is supposed to bring us closer to Krishna. Then, ignorance of one's own spiritual nature. So while chanting, we should be striving for something above the material plane. And if we don't understand that we are spirit souls and we don't come from this material world, we won't be able to understand that the mood in which we should be chanting, that we're actually servants of Krishna, and that we don't belong in this material world. And ignorance of the qualities of material nature is very important, because if we're ignorant of the qualities of material nature, we're very susceptible to Maya, and Maya can take us at any time. And the four modes of material nature can work together to try to stop us from perfectly chanting. But if we understand that we must be fully attentive and aware of our surroundings while chanting, then it'll be much, much more easy to chant. Anarthas are divided into three. Asat Trishna, Hridaya Daurbalya, and the propensity to commit offenses. Asat Trishna is the desire to attain unreal and temporary things. So chanting is supposed to take us above, and chanting, the amount of mercy that we get from Krishna is obviously permanent. It carries on into our next life. But whatever we get in the world in this life, like materially, is very, very temporary. So while chanting, we shouldn't be asking Krishna, oh, can I get a new car? Can I get more money? Can I get a raise? Or something like that. Because all of that is, I mean, if you could get something much, much more valuable, you better ask for something more valuable than ask for something more temporary and less valuable. Then there's Hridaya Daurbalya, which is weakness of the heart. So if we have weakness of the heart, it'll be very hard to chant, because we won't be able to chant with the perfect mood in the service of Krishna. And the propensity to commit offenses, as previously in the slides we were talking about the 10 offenses. Committing the 10 offenses obviously prevents us from chanting perfectly. And if we continue to commit offenses, we won't be able to really take all of the nectar that the holy name has to offer for us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes this in his instructions, and he talks about the mood in which we should chant and how we should chant. He displays this in the Shikshashtakam. He says, Trinadapi sunechena taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari, that we should be as tolerant as a straw in the street, as humble as a straw in the street, and as tolerant as a tree, and that we should be ready to offer all respect to others, and in that mood, we'll be able to chant continuously. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, humility means to not be anxious to receive recognition and honor from others. And this is the idea of being like salt. Salt is able to give a lot of taste to food, but if we look like in rice and dal or something, we won't be able to see the salt inside. We won't be able to see the salt, although we understand that the salt is present because we're able to taste it. That's how we should be. We should serve Krishna, but we shouldn't do it with an attitude of, oh, I hope everyone understands that I'm doing this much service. Oh, look at me, I'm so good. But someone who's humble understands that it's not about the recognition, it's about whether we're pleasing Krishna or not. And this is said in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Scholars define humility as when a person, even though possessing all good qualities, considers himself worthless and unintelligent. And this is shown by many, many acharyas in songs like Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes Amar Jivan. Although Bhaktivinoda Thakur is such an advanced devotee, he still says that, oh, all I do is commit offenses and cause anxiety to others. Bhaktivinoda Thakur advises 3 things for chanting. First is to associate with sadhus. Associating with sadhus is very important because all sadhus do is chant and worship Krishna. And if we associate with materialists do everything but chant and serve Krishna. So we won't be reminded of serving Krishna, obviously, if we're associating with people who don't serve Krishna. So if we associate with people who do serve Krishna, we'll constantly be thinking of Krishna. Oh, what can I do to make Krishna more happy? What can I do to improve my devotional service? Next is isolate from the disturbances of worldly life. Worldly life binds us to this material world, and if we're continuously attached to things in this material world, we won't be ready to leave and give up everything and surrender to Krishna. So it's very important to isolate ourselves from the disturbances of worldly life. And next is determination and steady enthusiasm. We must be determined to serve Krishna, because if we're not determined to serve Krishna, we obviously won't be able to serve Krishna. And steady enthusiasm is also important, because we can't be enthusiastic today and tomorrow be like, oh, whatever, I chanted very good rounds yesterday. Today I don't really need to chant good rounds. I mean, the rounds were so good that today, like, it must carry on. It's not like that. It's that we have to be enthusiastic every single day, and every single day we must strive to become better servants of Krishna. The Harinam and Chintamani and Bhajan Rahasya describe 5 steps on the path to pure devotional service, and obviously this comes as a result of chanting very good rounds. First is to avoid the 10 offenses. Avoiding the 10 offenses is important, because obviously without avoiding the 10 offenses, we won't be able to really serve Krishna completely. And the next step that comes is that we'll be able to meditate on the form of Krishna. And Krishna has a very, very beautiful form, as we can see here. And it's very, very nice to meditate on his form. Like, he's so beautiful. So if we meditate on Krishna's form, we'll become naturally inclined to remember the qualities of Krishna. Because when we look at Krishna, we're like, oh, he's very beautiful, he dresses in very nice clothes, he acts very nicely, and we'll be able to look at these things and we'll be able to remember all the things that Krishna did with all of these amazing features. And as that happens over time, we develop the habit of remembering Krishna's pastimes, and it becomes natural. And then Nam Ras is reached. Nam Ras is reaching the stage of fully being able to absorb the nectar of the holy name. There are 3 rules to chanting effectively, and that's listen, listen, and listen. And that's because when we chant, we should be able to chant clearly enough that we're able to focus on the vibration of the holy name. And that's because the vibration is the medium through which we're able to actually attain a higher consciousness, I guess. Yeah, we're able to attain a higher consciousness that way, and that's how we make like progress. So like chanting in our mind isn't as like recommended as chanting out loud, because when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, we're able to hear ourselves and say, oh, Hare Krishna. We're able to hear the word Krishna, and when we hear the word Krishna, we're directly reminded, oh, Krishna. And then, yeah, we're able to make more and more progress. Prabhupada says, one must try for the point when he simply hears Krishna, his pastime, his form, his quality are in his thoughts. So right when we hear the word Krishna, we should be able to think, oh wow, he's this beautiful boy who had many pastimes in Vrindavan, he killed this many demons. And I mean, it's very, very nice, because Krishna is the reservoir of all happiness. So naturally we'll become happy. And then there's Manasi Seva. Manasi Seva is being able to serve Krishna with our mind. So that comes only after a very advanced stage of chanting, in which like we're able to worshipping Krishna on an altar and everything. It doesn't require necessarily a lot of money, because not everyone has the financial like necessity. Like they don't have the financial resources to be able to worship Krishna lavishly. But Krishna is so merciful that he allows us to worship him with our mind and simply offer him things with our mind. This is shown by Narasimhananda Brahmachari when he worships Krishna, when he worshipped Lord Chaitanya on his path to Vrindavan. With his mind, he's able to create a nice jeweled path for Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya accepts that devotional service. That's how merciful he is. This is also shown in Radha Krishna Pranamora, in which Narottam Das Thakur talks about, Radha and Krishna, I'm going to worship you in this way, I'm going to worship you in that way. And he says that through the song. Prabhupada says, you haven't got to make a very exalted throne for Krishna. You can imagine that. In my heart, I have now placed a diamond throne and Krishna is sitting on it. That is accepted by Krishna. That's just Krishna's mercy, honestly. And conclusion, which is going to be done by Anshu.
Okay, so to wrap this seminar, we will do a conclusion, and this conclusion will be, the first part of it will be questions which will test our humility, and then the second part will be Vedic injunctions related to the 10 offenses. So all of you can answer these questions that I'm about to ask. Would you rather be served or serve others? That's correct. You would rather serve others. Second question. Would you rather be respected or respect others? Correct again. Do you care about yourselves or do you also care about others? Are you glad when others progress or are you envious? You're glad. Good. And the fifth, do you depend on Guru and Krishna or solely on yourself? That's correct, because without Guru and Krishna we can make no progress. And next we will have 10 positive injunctions related to the 10 offenses, and each number beside one of the points is related to that number of the offense. So for example, give up blasphemy of Vaishnavas by praising them is kind of a rectification for the first offense, which is Vaishnava Aparad. Second, realize that Vishnu is the only truth, and accept a guru who promotes the holy name. Accept scriptures that glorify the holy name as supreme. This helps avoid the fourth offense, which is to blaspheme the Vedic scriptures. Fifth, believe that the holy name is pure and spiritual. Then believe that the holy name is the Lord himself, and the holy name is non-different from the Lord. Discard all motivations that lead to sins. Preach the holy names only to the faithful. But remember that this offense is not taken while doing book distribution, because when one is preaching during book distribution, they are preaching for initiation rather than only to preach for committing the 8th offense. Then give up impious and selfish ritualistic activities. Meditate on the holy name without distraction. And now we'll take any reflections, and you can ask reflections from anyone that did the presentation. So any questions?
Thank you very much for your variegated presentation. In the beginning, you mentioned that somebody mentioned that in the different ages, one can only get Dasya Ras or something. Where does that come from? Do you know the source of that reference?
I'll give it to Balaram because he did that part.
Mataji, I was covering up somebody for that part, so I'm not really sure. But it was in the book.
It's in the book?
Yeah.
I thought that, yeah. But do you know where Sachinandan got it from?
Yeah, Sachinandan Maharaj.
The word, there's no reference, no reference given.
There probably is. I can check right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. And you said there's only jivas and the holy name in the material world, but what about avatars? Avatars also come in the material world.
Because the holy name is considered to be equal in the same.
But what about Lord Varaha? And you said in the material world there's only jivas and the holy name.
So I also mentioned that among Krishna's 4 characteristic aspects, which are his name, form, qualities, and pastimes, the holy name actually enables the perception of all the other forms of Krishna. Okay. So that's why we consider the holy name and the jiva to be the only spiritual items or spiritual beings in the material world.
Okay. Thank you. He'd be a good lawyer.
Any other reflections?
I just wanted to say how great it really was. I was listening in the car on the way up here, and I just really admire the effort you've put into it and the attention to detail of the presentation.
When you're juggling through one thing, I was realizing is it's very difficult to coordinate, and I was really amazed at such a young age you guys are showing such great teamwork and putting this together. I mean, the material is wonderful, and the way you did it is also very humble and wonderful, actually. So we can all be rest assured that ISKCON is heading in the right direction and is in the hands of wonderful people. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You are the gurus today. You did such a wonderful presentation. It was encouraging, enlightening, and also entertaining. All very, very nicely done, and it also shows perhaps you are having some taste in the holy name and kirtan, because it's not easy to give such a nice presentation. So thank you very much. I feel uplifted, and thank you for doing this. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. As the devotee said, it was a really well put together, wonderful presentation. And I was just wondering if, I know you worked long and hard on this. I was just wondering if some of you could share your own personal realizations from putting this together and working together. I would really benefit from that.
While working through this, I enjoyed it a lot because while reading through the book, I was actually learning a lot about how to avoid offenses and all the different types of rectifications of offenses. And I'd never known how many offenses I actually make while chanting. But after reading that section of the book, I realized how that I should improve my chanting in many ways, because I was actually committing many offenses, I realized. And
I just learned a lot of stuff in this book, like Anshu said, and also, like, I'm trying to reduce the offenses I'm committing during my chanting.
I think for me, whenever we go out on book distribution, it's always that we have to know what we're preaching before we preach it. So I think we all made a huge effort to read the book and study it carefully, and before we try to come up here and talk about something, and so we know fully about the topic.
I think the whole presentation, it really built a lot of teamwork within us, since some people weren't here, so some people covered for them, and it was really nice to see how everyone was working together to get the end product.
I think I realized how hard it is to actually be a lecturer, because you come and you see people give lectures and you're like, okay. But then you realize, once you do it yourself, you realize there's so much background work that goes into actually giving it, and it's just enlightening to see that.
It was really nice. It was really fun. It's one thing to do it because we got to edit the slides. We got to they got to prepare for a skit. It brought, as someone else said, it also brought a lot of teamwork in us, and it also helped me realize a lot more things by just telling other people than I already knew.
By making this presentation, I've been able to read more of Satchidananda Maharaj's book, and I've understood that it's very important to cultivate a very humble attitude when it comes to chanting, because a lot of the offenses and a lot of the possible obstacles in our way to chanting can be eliminated if we simply maintain a humble attitude. And I've also been very humbled by everyone else's work. I barely did any work, and everyone else was working very hard together to put the slides together. They made a play, and the play was amazing. And I was just very humbled by the association of the other devotees.
The notes helped in the presentation. It helped me do more service in the temple.
One thing that I noticed was more minds are better than one. I always have this sort of a thing that I try to think myself as a very big genius or whatever, and basically I just realized that when you work together, everybody is really smart, or exceptional in their own way, so everybody else has ideas, and that may be one of the reasons why sadhu sangha is so important, because everybody can do to their best in their own ability, but maybe being together with somebody else helps you advance further.
And like I enjoyed like preparing the script part especially because like it added like a different tone to the entire presentation, so that was fun. And also like when we were preparing the presentation, I had to cover up somebody else's slides, so that was fun, like going back and reading through the entire thing quickly and understanding what exactly to say.
It would be an honor if we could have a picture of the class with you and Maharaj. After this, we'll be doing kirtan with the kids. So. Mataji also, please.
We thank Risheshwara Leela Mataji for organizing this very focused exercise. As they were working on it, I saw a preview a few months ago and realized how absorbed all the devotees were in thinking about the holy names, and also just how important it is to teach what you're trying to learn, because then it goes in very deeply. And I can see that it becomes a part of the culture of the temple also. When all of you are realizing these points, then it begins to pervade the organization, and especially when it's focused on perfecting our chanting, improving our chanting, then that's how we actually improve the whole community. Thank you all for taking so much effort to put this together. I think it's a model that we can do again and again. Are you thinking about another one yet? I mean, have you considered that there are other kinds of seminars that you'd like to do? You want to do another one? Say yes. Okay. Yeah. So thank you very much.
We heard about the seminar. And a few years ago, I was just collecting thoughts while I was chanting, and we collected them all into a book and kind of published it. And there's a copy of it. We printed yesterday at Office Max. It's called Japa Joe. So thank you very much. I guess excellent presentation. You got it.
Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Rama, Rama Rama, Hari Hari.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Brahmanande,
Hari Hari Bol.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotra Shishimana Bhai Charanara Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotra Shishimad Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Sagaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavrini Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gokopinath Shamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Navdeep Dham Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Jamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Go Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Congratulations again for a yajna very well performed from beginning to end. Beginning of something great, the series of seminars. And now we have the benefit of being able to offer worship to the person who brought us the holy name, Srila Prabhupada. So we're going to put away the asanas and have a Guru Puja. Go Premanande Haribo.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to thank Raseshwari for all the hard work that she has put in. I'm so sorry I couldn't be for the presentation, but I really wanted to thank, she was the one who conceived the idea, made the lesson plans and worked towards it. So I really wanted to thank Raseshwari from my heartfelt thanks to Raseshwari Leela Mataji.
Thank you. Namashreshtam, everyone together please. Namashreshtam manumapi shachiputram atra swarupam shirupam tasya grajam uruparim matarim goshavatim radha kundam girivaramoho radhika madhavasham prapto yasya pratita kripaya shri gurum dham natosmi. Hey Guru Jnanada Dinabandho Swananda Data Karunaika Sindho Vrindavana Sinahitavata Prasida Radha Pranaya Prachara. I bow down to the beautiful lotus feet of my spiritual master, by whose causeless mercy I have obtained the supreme holy name, the divine mantra, the service of the son of Shachimata, the association of Srila Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami and his older brother Sanatana Goswami, the supreme abode of Mathura, the blissful abode of Vrindavan, the divine Radhakund and Govardhan Hill, and the desire within my heart for the loving service of Shri Radhika and Madhava in Vrindavan. O spiritual master, O giver of divine wisdom, friend of the fallen, you are the giver of your own bliss, and you're the only ocean of mercy. Although dwelling in Vrindavan, you have descended for the welfare of fallen souls like myself, and you are preaching the divine love of Radha Krishna. Please be kind upon me. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace one could cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. It's my Lord, birth after birth. From ecstatic prema emanates, by him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter of your lotus feet. Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma Bando Mui Savadhanamate Bando Mui Savadhanamate Jahara Prashadiba He Bhavatoriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoy Te Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Hoy Te Krishna Prapti Hoy Guru Mukha Padma Bhakya Chitete Koriya Oikya Guru Mukha Padma Bhakya Chitete Koriya Oikya Anakori ho mane asha. Anakori ho mane asha. Shri Guru Charanirati Eshe Uttamagati. Shri Guru Charanirati Eshe Uttamagati. Jai prashade pure sarva asha. Jai prashade pure sarva asha. Chakudan dhilo jai janme janme prabhu she. Chakudan dhilo jai janme janme prabhu she. Divya gyan re prokashita. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashita. Prema Bhakti Jahote Abhija Vinasa Jate. Prema Bhakti Jahote Abhija Vinasa Jate. Vede Gai Jahara Charita. Vede Gai Jahara Charita. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu. Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adama Janara Bandhu. Lokanath Lokera Jivana. Lokanath Lokera Jivana. Ha ha Prabhu Kora Doya De Amore Parachaya. Ha Prabhu Kora Doya De Amore Parachaya. Ebe Jashku Shikti Bhuvana. Ebe Jashku Shikti Bhuvana. Ha ha Prabhu Kora Doya De Amore Parachaya. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Srimate Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Reshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Kali Kaur. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Kali Kukur Kadan Jadi Chao Hai. Any Bengalis in here? Kali Kukur Kadan Jadi Chao Hai. Kali Kadan Jadi Chao Hai. The meaning.
As we know, in this age of Kali, Kali is like a dog. He's referred, Kukur means dog. So if you want to get rid of Kali in this age, the only hope is to take shelter of. If you want to be the menace of the dog-like personality, just sing.
Don't show him the English. He's got to prove his Bengali.
So, Kali Yuga Pavana, he is our dear Lord Gauranga, and if we take shelter of him, there is no, all the fear of this Kali will be destroyed.
Kali Yuga Pavana Koli Baya Nashana Shri Sachinandana Gao Hai. Gadadharma Nitaya Pranadhan Advaita Prapujita Gaura Nimani Vishwamba Shridiva Shishwa Bhakta Samuha Chitta Chora Nadiya Shashada Mai Purishwa Nam Pravartana Shura Grihi Jana Shikshaka Nyasikula Nayaka Madhava Radha Bhava Pura Sarvabhauma Shodhana Gajapati Tarana Ramananda Poshana Vira Rupananda Vardhana Shanatana Palana Haridas Modana Dhira Brajaras Bhavana Jishna Mata Shatana Kapati Vighatana Kama Shuddha Bhakta Palana Shuksha Jnana Tarana Chala Bhakti Dushana Rama Kali Kukur Kadan Jadi Chao Hai Kali Juga Pavana Kuliboy Nashana Shri Sachinandana Gao Hai Hare Haraya Namah Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinath Madan Mohan Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita Hare Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita Shri Rup Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath H.I. Gosar Kori Charanamandan Jahoti Vignanash Habishta Purat H.I. Gosai Jar Muitar Das Tansavara Parariru Mora Panchagra Tandera Charanda Seve Bhakya Sanibas Charametta Namme Hoye Abila H.I. Gosai Jabe Praje Kolabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Koila Prakar Shri Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Koila Prakar Bolo Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Bolo Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Bhajami Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyash Hare Nam Sankirtan Kohe Narottamodas Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Haribo Haribo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Come on. Oh, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bhajare, Hey Radha Govinda Gopala Hare. Bhajare, Hey Radha Govinda Gopala Hare. Radhe Govinda, oh Radhe Govinda, Radhe Gopala, Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Madhava,
Kishore Kishori,
Kishore Kishore. Come on.
Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Londonishwara,
Radha Parthasarathi,
Radha Gopinatha,
Balke Bihari Lal,
Radha
Madhava,
Radha Madan Mohan,
Radha Shama Sundara, Gandharvika Giridhari,
Radha Govinda,
Radha Govinda,
Radha Kunja Bihari,
Radha Gopinath,
Kishore Kishori,
Kishore, Rukmini Dwarkadi,
Bhajare, Hey Radha Govinda Gopala Hare, Hey Radha Govinda Gopala, Bhajare, Hey Radha Govinda Gopala Hare. Bo! आयशे श्री भगवान को मेरे बारंबार प्रणाम है। आयशे श्री भगवान मेरे आयशे श्री ज्ञान श्याम को मेरे बारंबार प्रणाम है। आयशे श्री ज्ञान श्याम को मेरे बारंबार प्रणाम Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Jai Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jaya Prabhupada. Go Premanande. Jayom Vishnupad Paramhamsa Privrajikacharya Stotras Shishimad Abhay Charanarav in the Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jayom Vishnupad Paramhamsa Privrajikacharya Stotras Shishimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavin Ki Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath, Shamakun, Radhakun, Giri Govardhan ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham ki, Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki, Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi ki, Jamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki, Sambheda Bhaktivinoda ki. All glories to some of the devotees. All glories to some of the devotees. All glories to some of the devotees. Go Premanande Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. Welcome back to ISKCON of Silicon Valley. Every day we can't assume anything. That is, we can't assume that we'll have another day after this. We have to take advantage of every moment that we have in the human form of life. The Srimad Bhagavatam says, Labvam sudurlabam idam bahusam bhavante, manusyamartadam anityam pihadira. It's very, very rare to get this opportunity. And a lifetime is made up of seconds, moments, hours, days, weeks, months. And if I take any of them for granted, then I'm a great loser. It's like losing huge sums of money, but it's even more than that, says Chanakya Pandit, because you can't replace it. So thank you all for coming here and taking advantage by hearing and chanting together. And also we thank Vaisesika Leela and all the team members who put together this seminar in the Holy Name. It's definitely lifted all of us here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. So one more time, thanks for Vaisesika Leela and the team. We're also now getting ready for our Janmashtami celebrations. And just a note about that, whatever way in which we put on the ceremony, the most important aspect is our attitude and mood while we're doing it. First of all, could you close the door, please, because Kumbh Mela is starting out. It's really not how many lights you put up. It's not how many booths you can put out, but it's the service attitude of the devotees. Even a very simple environment like in Vrindavan, they don't have lights and booths. Of course, they can light some candles or some ghee wicks, but there's just some leaves and fruits and flowers. But because there's an overwhelming mood of service, without any reservation, and without any condition. This is what actually pleases Krishna on Janmashtami. And the reason we put on a big festival, first and foremost, is to give all of us an opportunity to experience that mood, to work together in a selfless way. Try to encourage one another, and also especially encourage one another by setting an example of a service mood, of cooperation and so forth. It's the most pleasing to Krishna when he sees everyone cooperating together to serve him in a selfless way. Also, when people come to the temple, it's most important that we make them feel very welcome and that they're part of they've entered into a spiritual zone where everyone is treated with great respect, no matter who they are, where they came from, and that we're very encouraging to everyone who comes here and as accommodating as possible. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, sometimes when the devotees would come and sit together, there wasn't always ample room for everyone to sit. And so sometimes people would have to sit very close to one another, sometimes even during a festival like the festival in which they gave out chipped rice and bananas. Some of the devotees had to sit in the Ganga while taking prasad. Devotees don't mind as long as there's a mood of self-sacrifice and service to Krishna, a joyful mood. So when people come to the temple also, we should go out of our way to give them a warm reception, and they won't mind if we're a little bit overcrowded. And we simply have to treat them with with great respect and appreciation for the fact that they've come all the way here to see Krishna. So, if you have not gotten some service for Janmashtami, please make sure to check in with Hansapriya and sign up for something so that you can be part of it. That's the only way that you'll feel satisfied by attending the Janmashtami, is if you do something. In fact, I find every year that the devotees who are in the background, that you don't see all night because they're doing something else, like cleaning or parking cars or something like that. They always seem so blissful. Cleaning the restrooms. That's the sure sign of an advanced organization when the bathrooms are clean. You can go to some place, they can put on a big show, but if the bathrooms aren't clean, what's the use? It shows that it's not systemic. It's not actually holistic, the whole philosophy that's being practiced there. So those devotees who are doing all these things behind the scene, this is a service that Krishna notices, and please sign up for some service, do the best you can. And it's not always what we want to do. Of course, it's nice to do what you want to do, but do the needful, because there's a lot of people coming for Janmashtami, and we have to do whatever we need to do in order to make it all work. Does that sound okay? If you all agree with this, please say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna! Wow, you really agree with it. That's really good. The other great thing we have going on here is that Sankirtan is rolling along. The other day I had a meeting with the GBCs in North America, and one of the first thing that comes up is how's everybody doing towards their 10% of the goal. Bhajan Maharaj has become the enforcer every year. We can't do without it because he brings everyone's attention. All the communities in ISKCON around North America the leaders are very busy, and their minds can go to this and that and the other thing. So we always start off with asking, how are you doing on the 10%? And so they go around and ask everybody. While I was on the call, I texted Malini and said, Malini, how are we doing? She said, we're having a good year. The best of the year comes up starting around now till the end. And I'm sure Malini has a few words to pass on to us today about Sankirtan, how we're doing, where we are.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. We are actually inching towards our goal for the Janmashtami Vyasa Puja festival, which will be the offering on the day after Srila Prabhupada's, after Janmashtami, on Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. And also we are getting ready for Rath Yatra tomorrow. So today, while the prasadam is set up outside, we will set up all the tables and everything for book packing. And this year, it is led only by kids. They will oversee the entire book packing by themselves. And the adults will assist them, whatever they need. And after that, we are also going for book distribution door to door today and to the Fremont India Independence Day Parade Festival. So that is in Fremont, and there is door to door in Fremont, and we are also planning to have a spot for Srimad Bhagavatam distribution in San Jose. And we are going to pack 2100 books for Rath Yatra, San Francisco Rath Yatra, and that would be equivalent to 700 book packs. For those who have been to LA, it must be very less for you because in LA we distribute 14,000 book packs. But San Francisco Rath Yatra is not that big, but we still need help to distribute those book packs to all the passers-by who comes to see Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. So please participate in distributing and passing out the mercy of Lord Jagannath. The book packs will be available at the beginning of the Rath Yatra, and it will be carried towards the end as well, but we want to finish them as soon as possible so that towards the end we can give them more books at the end side, the Bhagavad Gita's, Srimad Bhagavatam sets for Bhadra Purnima. So please come and help during the parade as well as towards the end of the festival.
Thank you very much. Transcendental book distribution ki jai.
There is one announcement that we wanted to make is, as we know that Shubhankar Krishna Prabhu, Paruparadhika Madhichi and Shubhabrata, they're leaving on 27th of August to another destination, and we are hoping that they will come back soon. But they will take the spirit of ISV. I heard Prabhu had great plans on spreading the Sankirtan movement. He's going to start Kids Sankirtan also wherever he goes. And Aprupa Radhika Mataji will train others in making Mangalarti sweets for the deities. I mean, they have touched so many hearts here at ISB, and it is very hard to depart from them, but we are hoping that they will come back soon. We are so grateful for everything that you have done here. And Kids Sankirtan is not the same without Shubhankar Krishna Prabhu. Every weekend he goes out on book distribution. I don't think he missed even a single weekend. He also goes on weekdays to Muirwoods as well. And Aparupa Radhika Mataji is teaching in Navadvip school. She makes Mangalarti sweets, she trains others, and she takes care of Sunday school. She makes garlands sometime. I mean, there are unlimited services they have done here. We cannot repay for whatever we have done. But today we cooked a very small feast for the pleasure of Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Mahaprabhu and Lakshmi Nrsingadev in honor of all their services. And we pray to them that they bless them unlimitedly and they come back soon to ISV.
And now Vantik will announce the cooks.
Hare Krishna. Today's prasadam is cooked by Ananya Radhika Mataji, Ananga Gopika Mataji, Anuradha Mataji, Anji Prabhu, Balmukund Prabhu, Kameshwari Mataji, Kumari Leela Mataji, Divya Kumari Mataji, Geeta Priya, Hansa Priya Mataji, Madhav Govinda Prabhu, Manjula Kanta Mataji, Malini Mataji, Saubhagya Mataji, Sneha Mataji, Shanali Mataji, Shamalangi Mataji, and Savarna Gopika Mataji.
Haribo! And she memorized that while she was playing the harmonium. Also, welcome to all the devotees who have come here to visit, guests here at ISV. Please welcome our guests. Are there any other announcements? Sharirat vijada jyotindriya dharika jive pele vishaya sagare karmati vipoyati lobo muisurumati Taki jita katita sankchare Krishna bhara doyamor Tori bare jihvajar Shaprasharanadi lobaha Shayanamrita Radha Krishna Gunaga Premedako Shri Chaitanya Dita Premedako Shri Chaitanya Dita Mahashare Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Sapa Punya Vatam Rajan Vishwasho Navijayate Sare Sarva Dukhanam Hari Racho Pujayate Rasana Cheta Soyashu Buddhi Parya Vatishtate Swayo Pupukta Shaganda Vasulankara Charchita Uchishta Bojino Dasa Savamayam Jayemahi Bhagavat Shri Mahaprasadaki Gopremanande Nitai Goda Haribo 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 Nitai Goda Haribo Please come take prasadam. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. So the Sankirtan leaders and the book packing team have requested that everyone take prasadam outside so that we can keep this room clean for book packing. Hey, Paul.